The most anticipated earnings releases for the week of March 17, 2025. Presented by Earnings Whispers. Things slow down some more this week, with fewer than 200 companies reporting. More than a third of the companies will be reporting on Thursday. It is going to be fairly light Monday morning, but there is a lot of interest in QiFu Technology. It's a Chinese stock, which has had solid relative strength of late and has positive expectations. After the close on Monday will be topped by high tide. In an industry that continues to see mainly weakness, high tide has had relative strength, but it has been a rough start to 2025. The stock becomes interesting, though, as it approaches $2. Speaking of looking interesting, investor sentiment has reached an extreme for StoneCo and short interest is at a high, just when emerging market tech is building strength. The setup is there, so now the company just needs to deliver. Sentiment is bearish for Maravai Life Sciences too, but it isn't quite at an extreme and the trend remains lower until shown otherwise. Both companies report after the close on Tuesday. Speaking of a downward trend, FiveBelow actually reported solid results last quarter, but the stock faded that gap quickly and is now heading towards its lows. Expectations aren't that bad though. The company reports at the close on Wednesday. Williams-Sonoma also reported solid results last quarter too, and that is expected to continue when the company reports Wednesday morning. It had a solid gap higher that may need to get filled, but 160 looks to be support. As I already said, Thursday is the big day. It also has the big names. At the top of the list of investors' interest is Micron. The company reported disappointing results last quarter, but the stock held its support, and now we are going to get to find out why. Shares of Nike haven't looked much different than Micron's over the past 6 months, but the stock has been moving lower ahead of earnings as consumer discretionary names get beaten up. The story here is whether the turnaround is starting, and there are some green shoots. There are a handful of names reporting on Friday, but only 4 with analyst coverage, and only 2 with much interest among investors. NIO tops out Carnival among investors with the China EV market holding up well, but the more telling story is Carnival with sudden slowing in travel. So far though, there hasn't been a letdown in bookings. The slower week is still dominated by small companies with high volatility. Some of the biggest implied moves are the Chinese stocks, including Kingsoft Cloud. Kingsoft Cloud was our DeepSeek trade and it more than doubled in 30 days following the news, so you might expect it to give some back. And now option traders are expecting a 19% move compared to its recent average move of 8% on earnings. The monthly calendar now stretches out into the first full week of earnings season, with Netflix on April 17th. More names will fill in here as we get closer. Shh.